seconds. So,
and we are live. G'day,
What?
Johnny
Already?
Carlton.
g'day, mate. How are you?
How are you? Welcome to After the Game, episode 2.
Oh my gosh! 1 second, guys. I'm just looking at this. Oh my god, there's a curtain. Oh my god. All right, we're here.
We are here.
Wow,
Did you like the Did you like the curtains?
mate. Curtain, mate. It feels like cinema time for me, mate. Holy
There we
moly.
go. There we go. And
Gee whiz.
welcome to everybody to episode 2 of After the Game. I am King of the North, and I have my special guest, the Prince of Carlton, Johnny Carlton, is here. As an extra tonight, we are also live on TikTok. So welcome to the TikTok people as well, and also welcome to all our YouTube followers and everybody in the chat as well. So Jamar, Ree, Boston, all in. Toby's in as well. So thanks very much, guys, for coming in. And how have you been, Johnny Carlton? Let's not talk about the obvious, but how's the weekend been?
Well, first of all, hello, chat. How are you? Hope everyone's having a lovely Sunday night. Good to see Toby, Jamar, Ree, Boston. Thank you guys for joining in on YouTube. TikTok guys, thank you for joining in too. Yeah, look, my weekend was a bit of a funny one, to be honest, not gonna lie, but yeah, don't worry, we'll cover it all in the show tonight. But yeah, it's a very interesting round this week, so a lot of upsets, that's for sure. So
That's for sure. Yep.
yeah, so yeah, gonna be a good night, and yeah, we're gonna break it down, the most important games. But yeah, don't worry, we'll talk about more of it on Tuesday when we're in the podcast. But yeah, no, it's going to be exciting. The people wanted to know my reaction from last night. So
They did. You were the most popular person on YouTube and TikTok last night, bro. Far out.
yeah, no, don't worry, it'll be all out tonight. So that's for sure. But yeah, no, my weekend was all right, King. How about yours? How was your weekend?
Going good. Yeah, had a bit of a relax today. Went to the markets and come back and did a little watch along on the new HFD Footy channel. So first one on there. So watched the D's pretty much destroy West Coast. So yeah, it wasn't great from West Coast at all, really. So yeah, they finished them off pretty easily. But no, just been chilling today. Yesterday we did the triple header, so I did 3. So that was a pretty big one. So had everybody in the chat. So yeah, it was pretty good. So pretty good. Yeah.
Should we start it off?
We probably should. Yeah, let's go back to Friday night, and we had your two arch nemesis playing each other. Collingwood and Essendon. And what a game, eh? What a game.
Well, obviously, everyone knows me. I clearly do not like both of these teams.
That's it.
I was hoping for a draw, but unfortunately, the draw didn't come out. But yeah, no, look, it was a rivalry. It was going to be intense from the start.
Yeah.
And talk about Jack Crisp in the first 5 minutes, mate. He had his own sharing. It was like Essendon versus Jack Crisp.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell's going on here? Collingwood just bursted out of the shadows. But yeah, look, we'll talk about more. But just the breakdowns from that game, personally, I think Collingwood are not the same team as they were last year, to be honest.
No.
They've had their flag, and I don't think they're good as what other teams are this year. So it's good to see now. Because of Brisbane winning tonight, Collingwood are officially out of the 8. Which
they are. You'll be stoked about that.
Yeah, brings me a happy smile. So we got Richmond and Collingwood out of the 8. We just need Essendon to get out of the 8, but I don't think they are. But yeah, no, look, 2 out of 3 teams. I'll take that. I'll definitely take that. But yeah, no, good to see the Pies out of the 8. I'm very happy as a Carlton supporter. But yeah, no, look, Essendon were really impressive in the last half, and yeah, they just showed how good they were. So
yeah, no, we've got lots of Bomber supporters in. Oh, we lost your sound, John.
Hello?
Oh, there you are. You're back. All
Yeah,
good.
yeah, we're back. Yeah.
No worries. Yeah. So we've got lots of Bombers supporters. We've got lots of Blue supporters in the chat. We will get to the Carlton game. They're very keen to know your feelings about that. But yeah, lots of up the Bombers, and yeah, we'll get to each of those ones. Let us know what you think in the chat about Collingwood, and they've had another couple of injuries as well. So
They do.
So yeah, really that the torn pec off the torn pec is like that could be 12 months. So
Yeah, well,
yeah,
yeah. Now Brody Mychek.
yep,
Look, he just came back for Collingwood as well, so they were hoping that he could stay fit for the remainder of the season, but unfortunately, yeah, Collingwood and injuries this year haven't been a good combination this year. So look, if Collingwood are going to find a way for the finals, they're going to find a way without these injuries. So
that's exactly right. Do they rush back anybody, or do they just have to wait?
No, I just reckon the team that they have now, I think they if they want to make finals, they gotta find a new way to get into the forward line. I reckon Bobby Hill needs to start playing consistency. He was very quiet on the weekends. Darcy Moore has been out of form in the last couple of weeks, so he hasn't been his best. They're putting Howell forward, so they're trying new things, but it's not working. Boston said Johnny Dons will get eliminated. I hope so, Boston.
He's hoping. Yes, he is hoping.
Yes, I hope so. I hope they get out first rounds. But yeah, as I said, now look, we're going to move on. But yeah, Collingwood, they're going to find a way without these injuries.
And thanks for all the likes, guys, on TikTok. Really appreciate it. So yeah, this is our first night of doing after the game on TikTok. So yeah, if it's successful and you like it, let us know. And yeah, we're also doing the YouTube stream as well. We're over on YouTube. So go and find HFD Footy, and you'll find us over there as well. Give us a subscribe. We got doing a watch along over there once a week now, and the show. So there we go. So tell me what you think about the next game, which is the Suns and North. And here we go again with the Suns. So what you said was exactly right once again.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, I said it, and I said it before. Look, I'm not going to talk about much about this game. I don't have a lot to say because obviously I was watching the Port Adelaide Bulldogs game.
Yep.
So yeah, look, no, North Melbourne. I saw this coming. I said that they were going to win. I said Gold Coast needed to find a win away from home, and they just couldn't. They couldn't get the job done. Miller went down early, and then look, North Melbourne just took advantage, and as far as I can see, North Melbourne's young guns stood up again with Davey Zuniak and Sheasel and Larky kicking in the bag. So yeah, look, I'm not going to say much. I'm just going to move on. But yeah, happy for North Melbourne. They're finally off the ladder. They've made me actually happy this week. Now Richmond are bottom of the ladder where they should belong. So I'm very happy that Richmond are last.
Yep.
But yeah, trouble in paradise for the Gold Coast. If they're going to show that they want to play finals, then they've got to start winning games away from home. And that was a game that they had to win.
They had to win that. Yeah.
They had to. But
probably two of the big the standouts were that torp from Nelly the back line into the forward line.
Tommy Powell.
Tommy Powell,
nearly goal assist of the year. Yeah, I saw that. That was impressive.
Exactly. Yeah. And then the press conference at the end. So he didn't hold back, man. Far out.
No, we love that. We love when a coach gets aggressive and he tells his truth. We don't like when he hides all the BS. But Dimmer, he showed his true colours, and he knows what he wants for his team. So
exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
No,
well, the next game,
you might cop a little bit of a fine for a bit of language, but you never know. But you should be allowed to get away with that.
Oh, that's all right. You can cover a little bit of a fine. But yeah, as I said, now look, the next game I was very intrigued to watch this week because obviously Carlton have the Bulldogs next week, and I just wanted to see how Bulldogs would go.
Yep.
But yeah, look, they flew up to Adelaide, and I feel like they left all their belongings in Melbourne because they did not show up at all.
Couldn't believe how you said it a couple of weeks ago that like they either turn up and they're just unreal, or they just don't show up at all. And this was the Bulldogs not showing up at all, wasn't it?
Exactly. They're a very mid-card team, King. I tell you, they show up once and they show you twice. But the thing I want to say is I told you guys on the podcast, Chris was upset. Shout out to Chris C. I said, Chris C, after the Brisbane game, he was not happy. I said, Chris C, back in your coach, grab some confidence, and look what you did.
Exactly.
You went to Marvel last week. You beat St Kilda. You got a bit of confidence back. You came back to home soil, and you just dished out that.
Yep.
Mate, that was the best performance I've seen Port Adelaide this year.
For a while.
And look,
yep.
They're still in the top 8. Port Adelaide fans, they wanted finals. They're going to get finals. They just need to start. If they can grow confidence before the finals, they're going to go a long way, King. So,
and their midfield was just working. It was really good. They've still got trouble. Like, there's no doubt they've still got trouble in the forward line. They've still got trouble in the back line because, you know, Aaliyah is just like, you don't know what he's going to do when he gets the ball. His kicking is atrocious. His passing is atrocious as well. So Radaglia didn't get a run. So Chris C reckons that he should be chucked in the forward line. Maybe try him in the forward line, maybe. But yeah, they've still got some issues. But they went okay.
Yeah, no, look, Radagilia's played forward before for Geelong, so it wouldn't be a bad move. But look, they pleaded, they needed Rosie to step up, their captain, and that was a captain's game from Captain Connor. So
wasn't it? Yeah.
That's why he's the captain of the club. He shut up all his supporters, all his Port Adelaide supporters, saying, "Oh, Rosie doesn't deserve captaincy, this and that." He's been injury prone all year. That's why he's the captain. He put you guys on the back and he showed why you were captain. So look, Port Adelaide, congratulations.
Yep.
You deserve that win, and just hope you guys have confidence going in the next coming games. But you do have Carlton coming up, so please don't have confidence in that game.
Form. Yeah, coming in.
Yeah, don't have that form when you come up against Carlton, and we'll be completely fine. So,
and I think a shout out to Horn Francis, Home Alone played really well, and Jordiades as well was.
Yeah, look, it was
really
an all team performance, I reckon.
It was.
Yeah. So, yeah, look, congratulations to Port Adelaide. So we'll move.
That's it.
What's the next game, King?
Well, I actually watched this game, and we were doing a watch along yesterday for the Port game. Then we went into Geelong Cats and the Hawks, and that was the second game that we did. And far out, this was a bit of a tallying up for the Hawks, that's for sure.
Yeah, look, we've all of us on the channel, we're all Hawthorn. Well, we all like Hawthorn, and we like what Hawthorn's been doing the last couple of weeks. But yeah, look, they went up to Geelong, and unfortunately Geelong had confidence last week beating Essendon, and it was a bad time to verse Geelong.
It was.
And yeah, look, Geelong just stormed home. They looked in control from the first bounce. Hawthorn just didn't have an answer.
They really
But
did.
Look, Hawthorn supporters, it's 1 week. You guys have had an amazing season. You're still 1 game out of the 8. So you're not done yet. You've still got your season on the line. Your youngsters, they got battered. But they won't give up. They won't give up. They'll bounce back next week, and that's all you need to get from your young guys.
Yeah, no, it looked like watching the game. I watched like from the first bounce, like you said, it was men against boys. Having the captain out with his shoulder injury, that really made a difference as well. But yeah, Geelong were just it really was a domination, and it's. The thing that I said like 3/4 through the call was that they're going to learn a lot from this, because getting a flogging like this is a good lesson, because they really found out where they're sitting. So after this game, I'm not sure. I was thinking top 8, but to be given a hiding like that, I don't know whether they are top 8 yet. They did get shown. They found out that pressure wasn't there. Geelong shut them down really well. And yeah, it was just a Geelong gave them a lesson, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Look, I only watched a little bit of this game, but what I could see, Geelong were just too good for Hawthorn. So, look, as I said, they'll bounce back, Hawthorn. I expect them to bounce back. It's not the end of the season for them yet. Their supporters never saw the Hawthorn being one game out of the 8, so they've had a really good season already.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what happens in the next 7 weeks, but yeah, as I said, they're becoming a really good team, and you'll see them in the next coming years.
Exactly.
Got
some Crows supporters starting to come into the TikTok chat as well. So
beautiful.
welcome in the Crow supporters. You had a bit of a setback today. I think we might skip the next game and just come back. I think we're gonna save the best till last. I think today.
I reckon we will. Yes.
So let's have a look at Fremantle and Richmond, and so Richmond travel over to Optus Stadium, and they were in it again for the first quarter. I would have thought. I didn't see a lot of this game. Seen a bit of it, but geez, Dockers are pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah, look, as I said, I was watching the Carlton game, obviously, so I didn't watch any of this game. But, yeah, no, look, I thought Freo was going to win by a lot more, obviously being in Perth and obviously the way Richmond have been playing the last couple of weeks. I thought Freo was going to win by more, but surprisingly, Richmond, they did not too bad in the first half. But, yeah, as I said, they're just Richmond are no good this year, and obviously Freo just took advantage of that. And, yeah, look, Freo keep getting their wins, and they're in the top 4 again this week, and that's all you needed to be doing at this time of the season, just keep winning. So
that's it. Yeah. No, 51-point win, so pretty convincing win, even though it was Richmond. But, they've got a lot of work to do, and a coach might be looking for a few Richmond stars to head north over the border. You never know next year. So they might. There's a few that are coming out of contracts, so they might be even a bit more decimated next season. So you don't know. But yeah, after that press conference from the Suns, I think he's going to be looking for some extra strength and a bit of experience. I think so, rather than trying to rely on the young players. So
yeah.
So yeah, thank you to everybody who's come in to watch on YouTube as well. It's HFD Footy over on YouTube, and thank you to everybody who's in the chat as well. Watching along, LA regulars are in the chat, so thanks for coming in and joining us, and thanks for the likes as well. And thank you to everybody on TikTok who is coming in and waiting with bated breath for Johnny Carlton's comments about his team, but. We will just move to. We did the watch along on the new channel for Melbourne and the Eagles today, and I really was expecting the Eagles to be a lot better than they were. Like I thought they'd give Melbourne a bit of a fight. Melbourne have got their troubles with players out, but no, it wasn't to be the case. A 54-point win, and they really just dominated that first. They kicked 8 goals in the first quarter. It was pretty much all over. So the D's. Gawn was like 2 foot taller than any other player on the ground. So even though the stats were saying the clearances were pretty even, they just seemed to be like, even though they were winning the clearances, they were losing like the ball coming out of the clearance. So, did you get a chance to have a look at this one or listen to this one?
A little bit. I'm very surprised how Melbourne have been playing the way they have without Petrarca. Look, it was not going to say a lot on this. I was expecting Melbourne to get the job done. Look, West Coast haven't played in the MCG for a very long time, so they're not used to that ground. But yeah, look, West Coast fans, all I can say is it was a bit disappointing today because obviously you've seen your team play way better footy than this, and you guys know that you can get into a contest and you can fight into the last quarter. You beat this team earlier in the season as well, so you did have their number. But yeah, unfortunately Melbourne just today were on a different level, and they were just way better than West Coast. So, look, Melbourne, they needed wins without Petrarca, and they're getting it.
They
so
do, and they are. Yeah.
big test next week for Melbourne. But, as I said, we'll move because, we've got a lot to talk about. But, we'll move to the next couple games, which is, I think...
Actually, just on that point, they mentioned that during the game that West Coast have played 9 games since they won a flag at the MCG.
Yeah, in 2018. Yeah,
so that's that's not very good on the AFL, is it? So
exactly, yeah, no, not a lot of experience at the MCG for West Coast fans. So
that's it
for West Coast supporters. Yeah.
Now the next game, like I still can't believe what I'm reading here. What the hell happened at Marvel Stadium this afternoon? Like, if I was gonna pick a watch along to do, I should have picked this one, but I would never have thought in a million years that we would be saying that St Kilda have beaten Sydney by 2 points at Marvel. What is going on, Johnny Carlton?
Well, I said to a couple of mates a couple of weeks ago. They said that I said to him when Carlton was on the road. I said to him, boys, I think Carlton are gonna be in the granny. And they said to me, mate, what about Sydney? And I'm like, look, as much as how good Sydney are playing this year, wait till they come and verse teams in Melbourne.
Yep.
And as an example, I know MCG and Marvel are different stadiums, but they came down to Melbourne, and I don't think Sydney can play good footy in Melbourne.
You've been saying it the whole season, Nelly. You've been saying this. Yeah.
I said to him, if they come up against a Melbourne team who's been like, this was even St Kilda. Imagine they came up against a Essendon or a Geelong or a Collingwood. They would, it wouldn't have been a good result for the Swans. But, look, they charged the Swans. They had a bit of momentum. But, look, St Kilda, they had nothing to play for. And that's dangerous when you're going up with a team when they have nothing to play for. St Kilda's season are done. Like, they're focusing on next year.
Yep.
So they don't care if they turn the ball over. They don't care if they lose by 50 points. All they're trying to do now is take risk movement and take the game on. And they did it, and Sydney just didn't have an answer for it. So, as I said, look, very impressive win from St Kilda. No one saw this coming.
No.
But, look, the last 2 weeks, the way the Swans have been playing, is it a worry? I'm not worried. I think Swans, they're still 2 games clear of Carlton, so I still think that they are in the prime seat. But look, anything can happen in the next 7 weeks. So but as I said, they'll go back to Sydney next week, and I think they should get the job done there. So
exactly. Now I've got to give a bit of a shout out to a couple of people in the TikTok chat. Nathan is a St Kilda supporter, so well done, mate. And he reckons that Sydney will bounce back next week, no dramas. But the special one is for Sad Sandwich. So congratulations, Sad Sandwich, on your team getting the win. Well done. He was in the chat for the watch along as well, and he's in tonight as well. So well done, mate. Your team did well. Saints, baby, yeah. The Sad Sandwich is there. Saints, baby.
Yeah. So he would be happy. So
big shout out. So there we go.
Yeah. All right. Well,
let's have a look at the game we've just watched not long ago.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was at my mate's house for this, so this was a good game to watch. Actually,
it was a good game. Yeah. So so the Lions get away with 11-point victory. Adelaide was still coming at the end, but and geez, I don't want to say another few dodgy calls for Adelaide, but there was a couple, but not as bad as we've seen before. But good on Brisbane Lions. But what did you think? You watched the game?
Yeah, well, I did. Yes, I was with some mates. Well, you clearly know that I'm a Brisbane fan. I like the Lions. Yep. I have a spot soft for them. But look, I said a couple of weeks ago, I said it before the bye. I said, I don't think I can see Brisbane losing another game, to be honest. And to be honest, ever since I've said that, they've won 5 in a row.
Yeah, so, Nathan's just mentioned 5 in a row there. Yep.
Yeah, they've won 5 in a row. So look, I expected Brisbane. I think Brisbane will make top 4. To be honest, I see them coming home very, very quickly and very hard. So
Yep.
yeah, no, I do like the Lions. I thought Neil was outstanding today. I thought McCluggage was good. As I said, Rayner had a very good game. Look, Adelaide, they kept back. Rankin, I reckon Keys had a really good game today by Benny Keys.
He did actually.
Yeah, he always knows where the goals are, Benny Keys. But yeah, look, Adelaide and Brisbane, they always have a close game between them two. They never seem to smash one another. But yeah, it's always a close game between them two. And look, Adelaide, they looked like they were coming hard in the last 5 minutes. They kicked two quick goals in a minute and a bit.
They certainly did.
Brisbane fans were worried, but look, as I said, now Brisbane 5 in a row now. Happy days. And yeah, I personally think Brisbane are going to make top 4 now, so I don't see them losing another game, as I said previously, but could be wrong. But yeah, as I said, Brisbane are on the charge, so watch out for the Lions.
They certainly are. So they go into 7th spot now.
They sure do. Yes, yeah. The lion has awoken.
All right. Yeah, coming from where they've come to get themselves into the 8. Far out. What a mighty effort. So what a turnaround. Like the beginning of the year was just a write-off, wasn't it? So
it was, yes.
They've really
they had a terrible
around,
start. So.
There we go. King, tell Johnny Carlton I say hi, bro. That's from Boston. Boston's come around to the dark side. What's going on there?
Hello.
You've turned him around. So yeah. No, thanks everybody in YouTube who's come to watch along, and also thanks to everybody in the comments. We're on HFD Footy over on YouTube. This is our 2nd episode of After the Game, and thanks for joining us. Thank you to everybody who's joined us on TikTok as well. We've got some regulars in there, and hit the like button, tappity tap tap tap, and yeah, thanks for joining us. Give us a follow on TikTok. We're going to do some live watch-alongs on TikTok as well. We've done a couple now, and we are going to keep on picking one good game a week to go on TikTok, and we're going to bring our After the Game show onto TikTok as well as YouTube. So thanks everybody for joining us. All right, the moment of truth.
The time has come,
and we've got a lot to talk about. And
we have.
It was.
We do.
I did the watch along for this one, and Chrissy was with me. We couldn't quite believe what we were seeing, and the start that Carlton had, and then after the first quarter, we've just gone, what the hell is going on here? But GWS gets a 12-point victory, and we were just gobsmacked at the end of it. So tell us your thoughts. Tell us what your, that first quarter was just Carlton at their best, and we thought, here we go. We're in for a massive, Carlton victory here on this, and then far out, man, the blue wheels fell off.
Well, look, a lot of people have asked, Johnny, where are you? Johnny Carlton, where is he? We want his response. What's happening?
Man you were last night.
Yeah,
yep.
We want to hear from Johnny Carlton. Well, yeah, look, I was very frustrated after the game.
Yeah.
Look, let's have a chat about it, King. This might take a while, to be honest.
No, that's all right. We've got plenty of time.
Look, first quarter, wow. If that Carlton team can play like that for 4 quarters,
yep.
Holy moly, this team is going to be very exciting in the finals run home and the next coming games.
Yep.
Look, Carlton were just A+ in that first quarter. Mackay was kicking bags early in the first quarter.
Yep.
We didn't look like missing. It was a very good first quarter. I said to my mate, I'm like, don't wait yet. I reckon there's something's going to happen. Just calm your jets down. And he's like, yeah, I know it's first quarter, but we're up by 39 points. I get it. Just calm down.
Yep.
And then after that, mate, look, before the game, look, personally, I wasn't happy with the team selections. Now, I
wasn't
love
happy
Boss.
with that either. No, I want to mention a couple of players as well that
look,
got omitted and got added.
I love Boss.
Yep.
And I think he's been one of our best coaches in the last 10 years for Carlton.
Mm-hmm.
But this selection, was completely wrong. Like, we've had it beautiful for the last 5 weeks, I would have said, but this week was just absolute terrible. Look, first of all, starting Matt always as a sub. Now,
I know.
An hour ago, before I heard when it came out and I heard it, I was on the way to my mate's house. Unfortunately, I couldn't go up to Sydney this week. It's actually the second Carlton game that I've missed all year.
Yep.
Which is sad. I usually want to go to every game, but the second game I missed. Look, it's. When I heard Always was the sub, I was like, what the hell's going on here? It has to be an injury. But then they said, no, he's just the starting sub. Yeah. And I'm like, wow. I was like, I know he did his ankle last week. Maybe it's just a precaution.
Yep.
But look, adding Cottrell and De Koning in. Look, I love De Koning. I think he's been absolutely amazing this year.
Yep.
But King, there's some games where you need two ruckmans, and I've been crying for the last couple of weeks to make sure that we need two ruckmans against some teams.
Yeah.
And this game last night, we definitely needed two ruckmans. We needed Pitto there against a big man in Kieran Briggs. De Koning was coming back from soreness. De Koning, look, he stood up for the first half, but then he just got ragdolled by Briggs by the end of it. And that's where you put Pitto in for toughness to toughness as a big ruckman. Yep. Look, this week when we go up against the Bulldogs, I wouldn't have Pitto in. I'll just keep De Koning because obviously English is versatile and English can move around the ground, same as De Koning. But Pitto, we definitely needed Pitto on the game last night. And another one, Georgie Hewitt. Now, I was furious.
Yep.
When I heard George Hewitt was dropped, I was absolute furious. I said, why the hell is our raging tackle midfielder being dropped?
Yep.
And some other players are getting a game. Okay, I get it. Cottrell, he's been out for 7 weeks, but I personally think Cottrell should have stayed in the VFL for a couple of weeks and come back here. I'm not bagging Cottrell. To everyone, before I say anything, I'm not bagging any players. I would never bag any players. I'm just saying I personally thought Cottrell had to go through the VFL before coming back into this side. Yep. We were a winning side, and now you had the balls to change our winning side.
I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
If you were winning, why are you changing a winning side? I don't understand.
Exactly. And the chat's saying the chat is saying, why was Always on the bench? Why was Fantasia in? Why, like all the same questions you're asking. Why would you change that side? Yeah.
And as I said, everything's been working the last couple of weeks. Chincotta has been amazing, but they've done the Chincotta tag wrong this last night. Charlie Curnow, you talk about a player, right? You talk about a star. We're leading the Coleman, right? But I'm sorry, but Charlie Curnow is getting so lazy around the ground.
Where was he? Yeah.
The second efforts from Charlie, we just need more from that. We just need more from our leader. I know he's our first year as a leader, but we need more from him. I know he's a star, and I know he had 2-on-1 the whole night, but we needed more from Walsh tonight. Last night, we needed more from Charlie. We needed more from other players. Wiedering and Cripps have been our best players in the last couple of weeks. Wiedering went down with a little corky, and he wasn't 100%.
That's right.
Cripper was doing everything he could.
Yeah.
if these players are getting tagged in the next coming weeks, Carlton got to find a way to win without Paddy Cripps and Jacob Wedderburn getting involved.
And
This is why we have This is why we have Chera. This is why we have Walsh. This is why we have Kennedy. This is why we needed Hewitt in last week. De Koning was sore. Put De Koning down the forward line. Make sure he's a third option. Yep. We needed that third tall option. GWS have a very tall team. We needed that third tall option.
Yep.
Play Pitto in the ruck. Rest up De Koning. Make sure he doesn't play a whole game in the AFL ruck. And I don't understand why the hell is Paddy Cripps and Matthew Kennedy playing in the ruck. Why? I've been crying and I've been like, why the hell is Paddy Cripps playing in the ruck? Look, I get it. I know he can do it, but we need Paddy Cripps there. We need a ruckman to tap it to Paddy Cripps. We need him being at the contested ball possessions. Like, that's what we need. We do not need Cripper and Kennedy being in the ruck. It's just that second quarter, I was furious. How do you let GWS kick 12 goals to bloody 2?
That's right. Yeah. So who came in for Hewitt? Would you just get asked in the
So Hewitt came out for Cottrell. So Cottrell came in for Hewitt.
Right. Yep.
And De Koning came in for Pitto, which I would want De Koning in as well.
Yep.
But I think Pitto and De Koning. And they say, oh, who would you drop? Well, obviously, I think Cottrell would have to play VFL. And look, as I said, some people go, Razio, he had a good game last week. You kicked 4 goals, but you kicked 4 goals against the bottom team of the ladder. You kicked goals when we didn't need it. Razio has only played 1 good game this year, personally, what I think, and that was last week. Yeah. And I think Fantasia should have started as a sub last night, personally. Yep. I think a lot of boys need a rest too. They're getting tired, and you can see it on their faces.
Yep.
It was just very poor coaching last night. I was very frustrated.
Yep.
I kept my swearing down to a minimum.
Yep.
It's very hard for me to keep swearing down, but I did it.
Yep.
I had to. But yeah, King. As I said, I don't know. You watched the game as well. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me.
Nathan's saying they scored 116 points, so they deserved to win. Yes, they did.
100%.
And of course, they deserved to win. GWS. They were the much better team. Look,
100%.
I was spewing about when I heard Owies was on the bench as well. I couldn't believe it. So he's been playing good footy the last few weeks and didn't deserve to be put on the bench. I didn't think. Fantasia, if he had another game like last week, then good. But he's up and down, so you just don't know. I thought Chera wasn't that great either, really, and I thought De Koning just got pushed around all night. Like De Koning in the middle, like there was at one point where they just pushed him over. And it's like, what is going on? Like, here we are a couple of weeks ago watching De Koning just smash it all over the ground and be the best ruckman we've seen. And GWS just were dominant, in the ruck and everywhere. So he just had a terrible game, I thought. So no matter what he did on the ground, it was a fumble or he slipped over or whatever. So it was just these things are going to happen. You're going to get the occasional, the games where you're not going your best. And I thought he just struggled last night. And some of those decisions by Vossi, well, he's going to have to go back and relook. But on the other hand as well, to have this loss now, and it was, I think this was quite a bad loss for Carlton because of the way that they led and the way they come out in the first quarter, and then the way they got smacked for the other 3 quarters. This is a really good learning for them. So for this to happen now is really good because you don't want it to happen in the finals. You don't want it to happen at the end of the season as well, and you don't want it to happen on the big day either. So to be able to learn your lessons from a game like this, and mate, we've got to give it to GWS. That's probably the best game that GWS has played. They've played the best GWS team this year, I would have thought. All over the ground.
Well, look, talking about that, GWS needed to win this game. They needed this win more than we did. They definitely needed this win more than we did. At the end of the day, maybe that's going in the back of their head. If we lose today, we stay second. But that shouldn't be in the back of the head of Carlton players, right? GWS, they didn't have Sam Taylor. They didn't have Josh Kelly. And they came out and played amazing.
They did.
Amazing.
They did.
Jesse Hogan was outstanding. Tom Green, Cornelio, Briggs, they all stood up in the midfield. Our midfield had no answers for their midfield.
Yep.
I thought Jack Buckley did an amazing job on Charlie Curnow. I thought Whitfield and Iden were amazing off half-back. I thought Cumming was really good on the wing. That young Darcy Jones, I thought, was absolutely amazing as well.
Yep.
Toby Bedford shut down Sam Walsh, and Sam Walsh just did not have an impact. Full credit to GWS. I'm not going to say anything. I thought GWS played way better than us. I thought GWS's first quarter was shocking, but they didn't back away. They were like, all right, you want to throw this at us? We'll throw something at you. And just Carlton could not have an answer for what they threw at us in the second half.
Exactly.
Second and third quarter, they could not. They threw everything at us, and we just couldn't. We did not have an answer. We looked rattled. We looked slow. We looked tired. And as you said, this is a learning curve for the Blues. Look, King, we can't win every week, right?
No, of course not.
It's AFL.
Yeah.
It's AFL. This is a tight competition. Some teams are going to lose, right?
Yep.
We can't say, Carlton's good. We've won the last 5 in a row. We were due for a loss. I'm just glad that it was against GWS on the road.
Yep.
I think this is the perfect time for us to have a loss. It says, look, we can be defeated, and we need to go at that extra step if we're going to make top 4 and make it to the grand final.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right.
Right?
Yep.
As I said, the thing is, and I can't believe I'm saying this, Sam Walsh, he is a star, right? But people say, is Sam Walsh as good as Nick Dacos? He can be, but when Nick Dacos gets tagged, he still plays an important factor in that game.
Yeah.
When Walsh gets tagged, it just looks like Walsh just can't have a good game. He just can't get off that tag, and he looks lost.
Yep.
And he depends on other boys to get the job done for him. That's the only thing Walshy needs to do to be an A-grade midfielder. He needs to learn how.
That was a massive standout last night. Like, you're looking at Sam Walsh with 25 to 35 disposals consistently week in, week out, every week. Last night, I think when I did the stats at the end, it was like 15 disposals. So they shut him down.
Well, as I said, the 15 disposals only came when Bedford went on to Cripps in the last quarter. Walsh only got 5 disposals in the last quarter because he wasn't tagged.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, if he was actually tagged the whole game, he would have been on about 11, 12 disposals. And that's terrible from an A-grade midfielder. Yeah. We have one of the best mids in the comp, and our midfield looked slow and tired last night.
Yep.
It's just, look, as I said, I'm not happy. I'm glad that the loss came to this week. Look, personally, this is where the Carlton comes into me. I'd rather lose this week than lose 3 weeks to Collingwood.
Yeah, that's right.
Personally, that's me. That's just my opinion. I can't stand losing to Collingwood.
Yep.
So I'd rather get the dust out now than lose to Collingwood in 3 weeks.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that's right.
I'd rather lose last night instead of next week when it's Crippers 200th, when that boy's done everything for our club.
Oh, no doubt about that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, as I said, I'm glad it's gone. I'm glad this week's now over. As I said, I wasn't happy last night, but we're second on the ladder for a reason. We're going to bounce back. The Blues are not done yet. We've still got a long way to go, but the Blues are a very good team this year, King, and we are coming for that top 4 spot.
Yep.
But yeah, personally, as I said, the reason why we lost last night was because of the selection and some of the coach decisions.
I think yeah, I have to agree with that. Yep.
Hopefully they review it during the week and they fix what we needed to fix. And on Saturday, we play a great game against the Doggies.
Yep.
And look, they're going to be hungry, the Bulldogs. They're coming off a very poorly loss as well against the Power. So they're not going to be an easy run. So we're going to need to be on our A-grade performance if we're going to win this game.
That's
and
right.
I think the boys should get it done because it's Cripper's 200th, and that boy's done everything for our club.
That's right, exactly. And look, Sydney's had 2 losses now, and today's loss was a real shock. So yeah, it just goes to show how even this competition is. That anybody in the top 12 or 13 teams can win on the day. So yeah, it's interesting, but I think Carlton is still like I don't think we're third or fourth. I think we're second. So look, we've got the cattle and we've got the skill to keep on winning, and I can't see an Essendon or a Collingwood or who's down below that. Fremantle's going to be interesting. Fremantle's probably the shock of sitting in third place, but yeah, it's I think second spot is pretty much where we should be for sure.
Yeah, as I said, I agree. I think we are definitely a top two side in the comp. I reckon Carlton are definitely worth top 2. As I said, it's just look, we've had a couple of poor performances this year, but as I said, look, I'm glad the boys had a little bit of a fight back in the last quarter. I'm glad that they were like, oh, it's 40 points down. Who cares now? Let's just give up. But they fought back.
Yeah, that's right. It was a good fight back. Yep.
For one second as well, I thought Carlton was like, oh my God, they're going to do an amazing comeback, kicking 2 goals in a minute. It was down to like 12 points with like 2.5 minutes to go. Still plenty of time. Akers kicked the goal and I was like, what the hell's going on?
Yep.
But yeah, look, as I said, King, I was very frustrated with the selection, with the performance after quarter time.
Yep.
As I said, I just think a couple of players needed to be involved. And I thought our defense just wasn't on at all. It is. I can now see how important Wiedering is to our defense, and we can't rely on Wiedering every single week.
Exactly. Yeah.
Look,
they look vulnerable down there. I'll just say good day to Lulu, who is Hawks 2028 winning the comp for the flag. So that could be on the cards as well, Lulu. You never know. But yeah, a lot of people in the chat like saying the same thing. It was just, one of those things. We're still second. We're still a good team. All that sort of stuff. So there we go, 64-62 at halftime. So I thought the concerning thing was down back that when Wiedering went off, it looked a bit vulnerable down there. Like, he's such a good player, isn't he, down back?
He is. He is our general. He is our leader. If he's not on, our defense is not on, and that needs to change ASAP coming before finals.
Yep.
Look, as I said, King, very frustrating, but we move on. As you said, you know me. I'm there next week. I'm there every single freaking week. I'm Carlton till I die. I'll always be Carlton till I die. I bleed blue like every single Carlton supporter do.
Yep.
I'm guessing you bleed blue too because you're a big Carlton supporter as well. We all bleed blue, and we're all going to back the boys next week. We're going to come out. Hopefully, we respond. And as I said, King, let's just forget about this week because this weekend has been absolute terrible. It's been terrible ever since. So. I think it's time to move on to next week, King. To be honest,
for sure. Well, let's we've got about 10 minutes left, so let's have a bit of just a quick look at the ladder, only the top 8. We're not going to look at the whole ladder, but we'll just have a look at the top 8. So we've got Swans on top, then you got Carlton. Now there's only 2 points between Carlton and Fremantle now, and Essendon as well. Then Geelong, Port Adelaide, Brisbane in 7th, and GWS in 8th. Do you think that this is getting close to being the top 8, or do you reckon there's one or two teams that might sneak in and knock out the others? Because they're looking, after Geelong's performance, they looked like 40 points is pretty good for Geelong.
Oh, look, King, it's tight. It's very tight. Do I see this being the top 8? So we've got Sydney Carlton. They're definitely going to be in my top 8. They're not moving.
Yep.
I definitely have Freo in the top 8. Essendon.
They've got a fairly easy run, Essendon, haven't they?
They do. I will keep Essendon in my top 8 for now.
Yep.
So you got Sydney, Carlton, Freo, Essendon. Who's 5th? Geelong.
Yep. Port is 6th, and then Brisbane Lions. You're saying the Brisbane Lions are going to keep on winning as well?
Yes, I reckon Brisbane are definitely up there. I don't see Brisbane out of the 8, so Brisbane are definitely a lock in there. So that Brisbane will be on top of Freo and Essendon.
So they could. You reckon that Brisbane could get into the top 4, or are they going to be in the top 8?
Brisbane are definitely going to be in the top 4.
Top 4, right? Okay, yeah.
Freo, so Sydney, Carlton, Brisbane, Essendon, Freo. That's my top 5. Geelong. Look, a couple of weeks ago I was writing off Geelong, but the last 2 weeks they've been really impressive. The Cats.
They have.
I'm going to go shock, and I'm going to say Geelong are not going to make finals.
Yep.
So I reckon Port will be in there, so they'll be the 6th team.
Yep.
I reckon Collingwood will make finals. It's just Collingwood.
Because there's 36 as well. They're only out on percentage, and Melbourne's out on percentage on 36 as well.
They're Collingwood. They're a good team. They're gonna be there. As much as I don't want them to be, they're gonna be there. So Collingwood will be there. That will be my 7th team.
Yep.
And I don't know, man. 8th is very hard. It could be Geelong. It could be GWS. It could be Melbourne.
Yeah. I don't think looking at the Bulldogs at the moment on 32. I don't know. I think that could be the cutoff. Do you reckon the Bulldogs?
I reckon the Doggies still have a chance.
Still got a chance. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Suns now no chance.
No, I reckon the Suns have a chance too.
Because they've got a few home games as well.
I think Hawthorn are 13th, so I think under Hawthorn are gone. They're already gone. I already said that.
Yeah.
So we're basically 1 and 2 are top lock for me. I think Sydney and Carlton will definitely be there. It's just from 3rd to 13th. There's 10 teams, and you need to fill 6 spots.
There is, yeah. But you're putting Brisbane in your 4, so you've got 3 locked in your top 4.
Yeah. So 5 teams out of 12.
Yeah.
I don't know, King. So yeah,
so who's better? Who's better out of Melbourne and the Bulldogs as a team? Like coming into the end of the season, what's your better team, Melbourne or the Doggies?
I reckon. Oh, this is hard. Melbourne have a big test this week against the Bombers. If Melbourne can beat Essendon, then I think they are better. I just think the Dogs are a bit better than Melbourne at the moment. I think Melbourne are missing Petrarca. I think they are missing Petrarca that bad.
That's for sure. Yep.
And they only beat West Coast in Melbourne, so they haven't beat anyone good since Petrarca's left.
Yeah, and they did. Like the thing that I did notice with West Coast today is that they did, on occasion, they did get out really easy, and got down and kicked goals really easy. So. But Bulldogs are very up and down team. The Dogs. It was just it was a terrible. They were terrible against Port. I really don't think were Port that good that they made the Bulldogs play that bad, or is it just that up and down thing?
No, I thought Port were really good. I thought Port were outstanding.
Yeah,
their pressure was through the roof. They kept tackling. They kept pressure. Bulldogs just couldn't have the ball in the first half. Norton's out too now with the concussion.
Yep.
I don't know, King. It's hard.
It's a tough one. Yeah.
It's still
Aiden in TikTok saying, Johnny, we will win next week for Patrick Cripps 200th. No dramas at all.
That's it, mate. I love to hear it. I love to hear it. There's still 7 weeks to go, so I still think there's a long way to go.
Like, you've got injuries.
Anything can happen.
Like, who'd have thought that bloody Collingwood would get another injury and such a key player as well?
Exactly. Like, who would have thought Collingwood would be out of the top 8?
No.
Going into round 18
That's right.
when they've won the flag last year. Like,
exactly. Yeah.
Who would have thought Freo would be third? Who would have thought
right.
Carlton would? Who would have thought Carlton would be in the top 2 team? Like,
exactly. Yeah.
Look,
once
7 weeks.
Once the Gold Coast sort out this away problem, mate, they're gonna be a team to be contested with. That's for sure.
Well, they only have they have 4 more home games.
Yep.
And if they win all those 4 home games, then this week, Gold Coast Port Adelaide is a very big game. Very big game. If Gold Coast can beat Port at home,
yep,
it shakes up the 8 once again.
It does. Yeah.
Melbourne are playing Essendon. If Melbourne win, it shakes up the top 4 again. If Bulldogs beat Carlton, it makes up the top 8 again. You know what I mean, King? It's just anything could happen with results. Like, if Sydney lose another game, okay, not Sydney. If Freo, I don't know who Freo versus next week.
Hawthorn, I think.
There you go. If Freo and Hawthorn, like, what
is going to happen there? I know. Like, it's going to be another good test for Hawthorn. But, yeah, they're just asking in the chat, like, just asked me in the chat, how do you think the Swans are going and are they going downhill? I don't think the Swans are going downhill. I just think they've had a couple of weeks where they've been outplayed and the other team's been able to get the win. I think Sydney, like as you've said, week after week, Sydney all over the ground is just high quality. Their backs, their forwards, their midfield is unbelievable. So of course, like, you're not just gonna. You have to be like a superstar team to win every single game right through the season. You've got to be one of those special elite teams that just do that. The Brisbanes of old, like, all that sort of thing. But, Sydney, as you say, your players get tired as well. So the Sydney players are probably tired too. So they've just been playing such, like, intense, high pressure football. And your players are going to get fatigued after a period of time. So you're 100%. at the past the halfway mark, and yeah, it's I think Sydney are fine. They've got a nice buffer. They can afford to get a couple of losses. So yeah,
I personally think Sydney are fine too. I have no issues. I think the Swans will finish minor premiers, and yeah, they'll be a long way into September. They'll be there at the end. So
that's it. Yeah. Some people asking what happened, Johnny Carlton. You should have been here to listen to him. He would have told you exactly what happened. So, Collingwood Geelong Friday night. What a monster game that's going to be.
Another one. There you go. It's like the games just don't stop, King. There's Collingwood Geelong Friday night. That's enough. Like, imagine if Collingwood beat Geelong. The top 8 can just change all of a sudden, just like that.
It can, yeah. And when I was talking to Chris C, it's like Port have to keep winning now because you just have to lose that one game and you fall out of the 8.
Exactly, Geelong are 5th. They lose this week, they're out of the 8. Like,
yeah, I know, it's crazy.
It's so tight.
Yeah,
so
it
tight.
It is. Yeah.
So, yeah, looking a very big week of football coming up this week. I will be there Saturday afternoon for Carlton Bulldogs. I'll be cheering on my captain who plays his 200th. It will be a very good game on Saturday night.
Yep.
Saturday afternoon. So I'll be there. But yeah, hopefully the boys can bounce back after a poor performance last night, and hopefully the baggers they can find some good form.
I think they will bounce back for sure. Yeah,
Beautiful.
I think they'll do fine this weekend and bounce back. They'll have a look at the way they played and reassess. They interviewed Wiedering. Did you see the interview at the end of the after the game with Wiedering? And he had a chat
No, I
about he's
didn't.
been around for 10 years. He knows what's been going on, and he was really brutally honest about what happened and what they're going to do. And yeah, they'll fix it. So yeah, it's all a learning experience. Vossi's just a great coach for the Blues. So yeah, they'll bounce back for sure.
Yep, beautiful. Said it beautiful, King.
There we go. Well, there's another after the game finish for episode 2. I hope the people in TikTok, all the people came along and watched us on TikTok for the first time, enjoyed the show. Thanks for the follows, thanks for the likes as well. And Pies and Cats, who's your? Nathan's just asking, who's your tip for Pies and Cats on Friday night?
Oh. I'm gonna go Collingwood.
Oh, I was going to tip Collingwood as well, and I tipped Collingwood last week and they got done. But I think I'm gonna stick with them again. But far out, Geelong were good. It was at Geelong as well, so that's a big advantage as well. So yeah, I don't know.
It's a must win for
A
Collingwood.
must win for Collingwood, that's for sure.
And I reckon they're gonna get the job done.
That's right. Yeah, the Lions are going across to Perth to play West Coast, so
Should
yeah,
win that.
I think the Lions are back on track now. So yeah,
they'll win that. There's another game that they'll win. I told you, I don't think they're gonna lose another game. So
yeah, that's it.
No,
thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody on YouTube who came in, watched along, and in the chat. Thank you to everybody in the chat in YouTube. We really appreciate your support. Thank you to everybody for coming in the first time on TikTok as well. And yeah, thanks guys for coming in and joining us. Give us a follow, and we'll be back again next week. So yeah,
beautiful. Take care, guys.
No worries. Catch you later.